I feel like the only thing that was holding me back from writing stories at an earlier age was that I just didn't know how to write. Like, I remember in kindergarten, reading was easy, but writing, just the mechanics of forming the letters, was really difficult. The first story I remember writing was about a unicorn, because I was really into unicorns when I was in first grade. And the unicorn on the cover, I remember, had an extremely Baroque tail. All the curlicues had curlicues, and my language was pretty Baroque too. I mean, I got into metaphor and simile at an early age. I remember my teacher had me stand up and read it to the whole class in first grade, and that was such a huge moment for me. Of course, being good at something in first grade is very different from being good at something later. I had a very good sense of meter and rhyme at a very young age, but not really a particularly good sense of poetry. I also had an extremely gothic sensibility. I read a lot of fantasy and that sort of thing. And I had this poem that I wrote called War. And it goes like this. It goes, war, blood and sorrow on the morrow, till tomorrow waits my death. On the fields all swords and shields, to win peace, to release all the prisoners from the war. The thing was, at the time, because I'd always heard, like, on the morrow this will happen, I thought a morrow was some kind of field. So when I found out that that on the morrow actually meant tomorrow, and I had said till tomorrow, I was mortified. But yeah. With my academic writing, I'll write something and I'll turn it in. And after I turn it in, I'll feel like it's the most horrible thing I've ever written and I never want to see it again. But then maybe a year later, 2 years later, I'll go back and I'll look and I'll be like, wow, I was really smart. Like now I look at the papers that I wrote my first year and I'm like, why was I so smart when I first came in and now I'm stupid? And I'm sure in 2 years I'll look at the stuff that I just wrote and feel that way about it. Creative writing is the opposite, actually. I feel really good about it at first, when I finish it, and then 2 years later I just can't even stand to think about looking at it. I had really supportive parents. I mean, possibly too supportive. I mean, on the one hand it kept me going, and on the other hand, I don't know whether they maybe encouraged me a little too much in some ways. I don't show them anything I write anymore.